Live.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WBBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Okay. Cancel 10. There we go.
It's time for Hometown Talk on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station. Our phone lines are now open 508-822-1106.
Live. And good morning and welcome to Hometown Talk. It's the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 19th of December, 2025. We are less than a week away from Christmas now. We're 6 days away from Christmas. I can't believe we're within a week before Christmas. It's crazy how quick the year goes by, or the season of fall goes by. We're also into the weekend where we're going to say it's winter. I believe winter begins on Sunday. And speaking of winter, we're going to talk to Middleborough Gas and Electric this morning, Danny Taylor, all about winter for Middleborough Gas and Electric, and how Middleborough Gas and Electric helps the community of Middleborough during the winter season. So we'll talk about that coming up at 10:35 a.m. this morning. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up later on. Open phone lines through the rest of the show. 508-822-1106. 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you want to call in, talk about what is on your mind this morning. It is a very nice morning when it comes to the temperatures. However, the weather is not going to be as nice as we kind of move through the morning and the rain begins. A high wind warning is in effect as of right now until 3 p.m. this afternoon. It includes northern Bristol and western Plymouth counties in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, southeast Providence County. South winds will be up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, and wind gusts up to 60 are to be expected today. Gusty winds will blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down, and some power outages could result as well. Winds this strong can make driving difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles like vans and 18-wheelers. That's why I am pushing my plans back when it comes to going to get a couple things from the grocery store today, from the supermarket today. I'm not doing that today. I'll do that tomorrow. And if you have any plans out there, if you're able to push them back a day, I would do so because of the weather, the wind, and also the fact that we're going to get some rain today as well, which is going to be a little bit more aggressive because of the wind. So it's not going to be amazing when it comes to driving out there today. So if you have any plans and are able to push them back a day, definitely do so, as I'm going to be doing that. When it comes to going to the supermarket, I'm not doing that today. I'm doing that tomorrow after work. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, Anyway, moving on from that. But yes, we have a high wind warning in effect until 3 p.m. this afternoon. I'll probably mention that again in the second hour. Just talk about that again in the second hour. Also, in the top of the second hour as well, after the USA News, not the USA News, the Town Hall News. There we go. I apologize. USA News was our previous news people there that we played every hour. Our Town Hall News from the Salem Radio Network. After that, we'll play Chris's headlines again from this morning. Some important information in there when it comes to Brown University hospitals, like Morton Hospital. Some important information in there about some things that they're doing when it comes to keeping patients safe from illnesses. So they got something going on at those hospitals. So that's some important information. And I'll play that again in the top of the next hour as well. Okay, but we have open phone lines today. 508-822-1106 is the number if you want to call in, talk about what is on your mind this morning. We have a lot to get to today. Again, like I said, we'll have Danny Taylor on at 10:35 a.m. this morning from Middleborough Gas and Electric. Then we will have probably a sports segment, probably a transportation segment as well, and much more. We'll have some local stuff to talk about, I'm sure, and much more on the show. Answer the phone calls if you want to call in as well. So let's start off with talking about a couple of events going on. Start off with some blood drives, as I always like to talk about at least once during any show that I do. We have a couple of blood drives coming up. And we have this upcoming Tuesday, December the 23rd at Temple Shai Shalom, 239 Depot Street in Southeaston, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that blood drive. And then we have Monday, the 29th of December at Norton Public Library, 68 East Main Street, Norton. That is 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. for that blood drive. So we have that coming up here over the next couple of days as we approach the end of the year. I'm sure there will be a lot of blood drives coming up in January, and we'll be talking about those as we approach January as well. I'll probably start talking about those probably next week. So we move on from that. Another thing I want to mention, I mentioned this once or twice, I think, before, but now through January the 10th, you can donate coats for kids and families. Donate gently used warm winter coats for children and adults at any Anton's Cleaners, Jordan's Furniture, or Rockland Trust location. Coats only, please, for this, and all sizes are welcome. That's coming up now. It's been going on since I believe November, maybe even earlier than that. But that's going on through the 10th of January. Also, want to mention that coats are professionally cleaned by Anton and distributed to families in need through a network of over 90 local social service agencies, schools, and nonprofit organizations. So if you donate a coat, it's going to a good place. So if you are interested in donating any coats, go again to any Anton's Cleaners, Jordan's Furniture, or Rockland Trust location, and they'll be glad to take any coat that you give them. So so that's an important event as well. That's going on through January the 10th. January the 10th is when that ends. But that's been going on for several weeks now, so I wanted to make sure I mention that a couple of times here to let people know about that event as well. So we have that going on as well. Some other things going on, other events going on. Later on, we'll be talking about this very big weekend in sports. We got several college football games in the playoffs that we'll be talking about. We have FCS games. We have other bowl games as well to talk about. Bowl games today got underway at 11 a.m. this morning, and they kind of continue throughout the day today. It's a pretty busy day today when it comes to football. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But it's one of those days where it's pretty big day in sports. A couple of events here. Recently was Wreaths Across America Day, a nationally recognized day of remembrance. The Nemasket Hill Cemetery of Middleborough, they pay tribute to hundreds of veterans who rest in the Middleborough Cemetery. Members of the Nemasket Hill Cemetery continued their annual tradition of placing a wreath at their Civil War canon to honor more than 600 veterans who are buried at the cemetery. The annual day at the Middleborough Cemetery. The annual day of remembrance is held to remember, honor, and teach others about the sacrifice of veterans across the country. Volunteers of the Wreaths Across America organization, they lay wreaths on the graves of veterans every year during the holiday season to spotlight values of freedom and also of military service. So we have that as well that we wanted to mention because of the recent Wreaths Across America Day there. Also, I want to mention that the Middleborough Animal Shelter is in need of community support. The animal shelter in Middleborough is in need of donations to help Middleborough's furry friends. The shelter, located at 50 Joe Ciaglio Way, is asking for donations to fund vaccines, medical exams, and more to benefit animals at the Middleborough shelter. All those items keep animals safe and healthy as well. The shelter also made a wish list with a range of animal food and comfort items to purchase. Check or cash donations can be made at the shelter and at the planning department, which is located at 20 Center Street, which is in the Town Hall Annex in the second floor. Find the online wish list. There's an online wish list. If you go to Nemasket Week and click on this article, at the end of the article, there's a wish list, a website where the wish list is on. Check that out as well. A couple of other things I want to mention. Things to do this week in and around Middleborough. There are several things. Today, December 19th, drive through the holiday. Drive through more than 500,000 holiday lights and inflatable displays at a holiday event at Pierce Playground this month. The holiday lights at the park is such an impressive event. They used to have it at the campground in Middleborough, which is near Oliver Estate. They always did a good job on that event as well, and this is no different. They do a very, very good job with this event. There are a lot of lights to check out. Again, 500,000. That is a pretty huge display of lights for this event. So go and check that out tonight and through the weekend as well. I think with the campground event, I think the lights, they had even more lights than just 500,000 lights, but this is kind of a smaller, compact area. The campground was a little bit bigger, so you could have more lights in more locations. I think it was like, I don't know if it was a million, but it was a lot of lights. I think it may have been more than 500,000. I'm not sure, but it definitely was a lot of lights at the campground event when they had the light event, the Christmas lighting event there. But this is just as impressive at the Pierce Playground. So go and check this out. That's coming up this weekend. The Holiday Lights at the Park event. That is, again, starting tonight, going through the weekend, the 21st. Residents may visit the drive-through holiday display from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Tickets cost $15 per vehicle, but are recommended donations. All proceeds will benefit the department's programs. Only cash is allowed for attendees who purchase tickets at the gate. Tomorrow in Lakeville, the Lakeville Library Genealogy Club will hold a holiday social. That's on Saturday, December 20th, 11 a.m. to 1. The holiday social, attendees can celebrate the holiday season by sharing a favorite family recipe. The event is open to all who are interested in family research. No registration, there we go, or prior attendance to the club is required. For more information, you can contact Cynthia Souza at csouza@salesinc.org. Got one other event I want to mention here, but we're getting close to the 9:30 hour here, the 9:30 news break. When we come back, we'll mention that particular event. I think maybe sometime at the bottom of this hour, we'll talk about NORAD's Tracking Santa as well. That's also a big event that a lot of the younger kids like to do as well. NORAD tracks Santa, and they do it every year, and it's kind of impressive how they do it every year. So we'll talk about that briefly as well during this hour. And we'll have much more. We'll do some sports again. Outside of football, it's been kind of quiet. The Celtics and the Bruins kind of chugging along here in the season. Things haven't really ramped up yet. A couple of weeks, we'll have the Winter Classic and things like that. I think the Bruins do have a pretty significant game in the Stadium Series coming up as well. I'm not sure exactly what day. I'll have to look that up when we're on the news break. So we'll do that. And during our sports segment, we'll talk about that. But not a lot going on with the Bruins and the Celtics. Kind of quiet still. We just got past NBA Cup. When it comes to the NBA, we just got past the NBA Cup. So we're kind of on a march towards All-Star break. Things don't really ramp up till after All-Star break when it comes to the NBA season. So not a lot to talk about there either. With the Red Sox, unfortunately, not a lot to talk about, which is not good news for people who are expecting anything to happen in the offseason for the Red Sox. It seems like nothing is happening so far for the Red Sox in the offseason. They missed out on several different free agents as well. We'll talk about that during our sports. But it's 9:30. Let's take our news break, and we'll be right back.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Her lawyers are promising an appeal. A Wisconsin judge found guilty of felony obstruction for helping a Mexican national dodge federal immigration authority. After deliberating 6 hours, jurors handed down the verdict in the case of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan, facing up to 5 years in prison when sentenced. Because his own life That's what authorities are saying about the suspected Brown University gunman. His body found in a Salem, New Hampshire storage unit. Massachusetts U.S. Attorney Leah Foley says Claudio Neves Valente has also been linked to the killing of an MIT professor in Brookline, Massachusetts, a couple of days after the Brown University shooting.
Previously, he attended the same academic program as the MIT professor Nuno Loureiro in Portugal between 1995 and 2000. Although Neves Valente appeared to reside in Florida between November 26th and November 30th of this year, he rented a hotel room in Boston.
The motive behind the killings remains a mystery. President Trump has signed an executive order that could reclassify marijuana as a somewhat less dangerous drug. The president stresses the order applies strictly to medicinal applications of marijuana.
The facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered. In some cases, this may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers.
Mr. Trump's executive order does not legalize marijuana under federal law, and it's not the final word. The proposed change still requires federal regulatory.
Now it's raining.
On Wall
Oh,
Street,
boy.
this morning's
Please.
opening bell, the Dow futures are down 10 points, while the Nasdaq futures
As I made the right
65
decision not
points
to
higher.
go
More on these stories at townhall.com.
to the supermarket today.
This message is for
Jeez.
anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote by calling Term Provider at 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-555-2085 or visit termprovider.com. Termprovider.com.
It's a tradition for Russian President Vladimir Putin, his end-of-the-year news conference, and this year, the carefully choreographed event focused on Ukraine.
Speaking at his highly orchestrated year-end news conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin says forces have fully seized the initiative. Putin said, our troops are advancing all across the lines of contact, faster in some areas or slower in others. The enemy is retreating in all sectors. He remains confident the Kremlin's military goals will be achieved nearly 4 years after he put troops into the neighboring country. In the early days of the conflict, Ukraine's forces managed to thwart an attempt by Russia's larger, better equipped army to capture the capital of Kyiv. But the fighting soon settled into grinding battles, and Moscow's troops have made slow but steady progress over the years. I'm Charles Dillon.
News and analysis at townhall.com. The burgeoning
I did
Medicaid
this one.
fraud scam in Minnesota
Oh, okay,
continues to
so this
expand.
one,
5 new
I
defendants
can
have been
talk about this
charged
one
in
too.
connection with the Minnesota Housing Services fraud. During a news conference, First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said that federal
too.
officials suspect a significant portion of roughly $18 billion
This-
paid out by Medicaid to Minnesota programs was
this,
fraudulent.
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors
let me do
committing
that,
crimes. It's a
talk about that
staggering
later,
industrial
this
scale.
later,
fraud.
okay, so we're good.
It's swamping Minnesota and calling into question everything we know about our state.
He said 2 defendants pocketed $750,000 instead of helping Medicaid recipients find stable housing. Prosecutors allege that they used the proceeds to travel to international destinations, including London and Dubai. Audio courtesy of KSTP. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife, their 2 children among 7 people killed. Plane crash, North Carolina.
Yeah, that sucks.
Townhall.com.
That sucks.
Taunton Federal Credit Union's newest full-service location at 403 Windsor Street in Taunton is now open. This is PFCU's fourth location, which includes its main office at 14 Church Green in Taunton and branches in Middleborough and New Bedford. Taunton Federal Credit Union's been serving the city of Taunton and surrounding communities since 1947 and is committed to offering an extensive range of products and services designed specifically with you in mind. Membership in the Taunton Federal Credit Union is now available to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Bristol County, Plymouth County, and Barnstable County in Massachusetts, Bristol, Kent, Newport, and Providence counties in Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island communities of Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton, Narragansett, New Shoreham, North Kingstown, Richmond, and South Kingstown. They want to make your banking experience as easy as possible by giving you convenient access to manage your accounts on the go, all the while providing you with the latest and greatest in banking technology. Stop in today and see what the Taunton Federal Credit Union can offer you.
Hey, restaurant, when it comes to great food and in-house operations, you got it down to a science. But when it comes to online marketing, ordering, and delivery, Devour Now has got you covered. Devour Now has 0% commission, no fees, and the delivery solution you've been hoping for. Go to getdevournow.com to request a demo and to get started today. That's getdevournow.com. Commission-free online
160.
marketing, ordering, and delivery.
160.
During the holidays, drunk driving accidents kill more people than any other time of year. Alcohol acts quickly, so even though your cousin Carl might not seem drunk, he could be, or Aunt Annie may seem like she's having a great time, but she shouldn't be driving home. And alcohol doesn't wear off fast. It stays in the body for a long time, even after the party. Forget about Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee doesn't help a drunk person get sober. The only thing that helps is time. So if you really care about your friends and family as much as I care about mine, make sure they have a designated driver or call a taxi. 'Tis the season to feel alive. So please be safe and don't drink and drive. A message from me and all the little elves around the world.
Okay. 33? 33. Perfect. Alright, let's do holiday events. Some more holiday events. A lot of holiday events. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back. They turned down the bumper music. There we go. 9:39 a.m. Continuing on the Christmas events for this weekend. There's a lot of Christmas events going on for this weekend. A lot to do. Also, we'll mention La Salette as well here in a few minutes. But that is a great event for the whole family to go and to check out as well the lights at La Salette. We'll talk a bit more about that in a second. But that's another great event. So again, so many great events coming up for Christmas in and around Middleborough and in and around Taunton as well. So a lot of great things going on. So let's continue talking about that. Middleborough will have a Christmas caroler event coming up. A Very Merry Dickens carolers are coming to Middleborough for a free caroling performance this month. That's coming up on Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Peter H. Pierce Homestead Group. They'll be hosting the concert at Middleborough Town Hall. The Very Merry Dickens carolers will deliver a free caroling performance under the backdrop of the Grand Ballroom, which is a great area to have an event like this. The ballroom there at Town Hall Middleborough is a amazing venue. Had my junior prom there. A great event and great event space is that particular room there, the Grand Ballroom of Town Hall. That's located at 10 Nickerson Avenue. The Very Merry Dickens Carolers are a group of professional singers who specialize in 4-part harmony. Their repertoire includes classic carols and festive favorites over the years. The carolers have performed for audiences at venues including the Today Show, Central Park in New York City, and several candlelight strolls across Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. The Peter H. Pierce Homestead, they're a business program of the Friends of the Middleborough Public Library, an all-volunteer nonprofit organization who's focused on promoting literacy, education, culture, and community engagement. The town's Grand Ballroom, again, that's located at 10 Nickerson Avenue in Middleborough. So we have that event coming up as well. In Taunton, there's several events coming up this weekend for Christmas. Santa Claus is coming to town once again. He'll be in Taunton Green in the Little Red House once again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to hear your Christmas wishes. For today, December 19th, he'll be there from 5 to 8 p.m. Saturday, December 20th, he'll be there from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then Sunday, he'll be there from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. as well as Sunday, December 21st. A complimentary picture is provided by Parks and Recreation, but you are welcome to bring your own camera to capture the special moment with Santa. So we have that event coming up as well. And finally, for this weekend's events, the 2025 Taunton Firefighter Santa Run. That is scheduled for tomorrow. The fire department will escort Santa around town from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. During the event, residents will have the opportunity to see Santa Claus waving and giving out candy from a fire truck while being escorted by Taunton's firefighter volunteers. Taunton firefighters have once again teamed up with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program. They're asking for donations of unwrapped toys, new unwrapped toys, to be donated along the route, which can be found on the Taunton Firefighter IAFF Local 138 Facebook page. Some of Santa's finest elves will be collecting the donations following along behind Santa's sleigh in fire department vehicles. The Taunton Fire Department, the City of Taunton, and Local 138 Firefighters Union would like to thank everyone in advance for any donations you were able to make. So that is also coming up this weekend. So there are a lot of great events coming up this weekend in Middleborough, in and around Middleborough, also in and around Taunton as well. And also coming up this weekend, or pretty much every day up through the end of the year, is La Salette. They have begun their 2025 season. Our Lady of La Salette switched on its holiday lights, and the popular Attleboro display features 137 new light displays this year. So they've got even more lights than they had last year. That's bringing the total to more than 1 million lights. It's truly an impressive display. I've been to La Salette. It's just an amazing experience. La Salette is so fun and just a great experience. It's definitely a recommendation to go there if you're able to this holiday season, because again, you'll be amazed at all of the displays that they have there. Everything that they do at La Salette as well is great, and obviously the lights as well. You'll be impressed with those. Along with that comes a new theme this year, which is Rejoice in Hope. The night is far gone, the day is at hand. The shrine is open daily from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., and that will run through the 4th of January. January 4th is when they're done for the season with the Festival of Lights. So, obviously, like I said, they do a really good job every single year with those lights. And if you're in the area and you're able to go down and check that out, definitely I would recommend that you do so because again, it is just an amazing light display every single year. It's growing. It's growing, as they said this year. So, all right, 9:46 a.m. Let's take our next commercial break. When we come back, I think we'll switch to a little bit of sports. During the second hour, we'll switch over to our transportation topic. Coming up at 10:35 this morning, we'll have Danny Taylor of Middleborough Gas and Electric calling in to talk about all things Middleborough Gas and Electric in the winter time as we are approaching winter. Winter is this, the official start of winter is this weekend, so we'll be talking a lot about that with Danny Taylor coming up at 10:35 a.m. this morning. We'll also probably talk about some other things going on with Middleborough Gas and Electric as well. Any events that they got going on and things like that. Any programs they have going on. So we'll talk about that with her as well. So that will be coming up again at 10:35 a.m. this morning. So stay tuned for that. Middleborough Gas and Electric, Danny Taylor, giving us a call here at 10:35 a.m. this morning. All right, let's take our next break, and we'll be right back with a little bit of sports here on Hometown Talk, the Friday edition. I'm Joey Driscoll. This is WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Matthew Mission Food Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life. In a few short years, they have given more than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need at the North Shore of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green.
Good morning, everybody.
To anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. Please consider a donation of unexpired, non-perishable food items, grocery store gift cards, or a monetary donation by a check to the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, 76 Church Green, Taunton, or by Venmo at Matthew Mission Food Pantry. The Matthew Mission Inc. is a registered 501c3 organization. Thank you.
The Matthew Mission Food Pantry is now open the second and fourth Saturdays of the month at 76 Church Green in Taunton.
InfoTrack is a weekly nationally syndicated public affairs radio show that features interviews with experts discussing topics of real interest to you. InfoTrack strives to present impartial, balanced coverage of every story. I'm your host, Chris Whitting, along with a team of talented reporters and legendary announcer, Charlie Van Dyke. InfoTrack, Saturday mornings at 8:05 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. here on WVBF AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Hi, this is District Attorney Tom Quinn. My family and I would like to wish you a happy and healthy holiday season. Unfortunately, the holiday season also comes with some potential danger. That danger comes from drinking and driving. I urge everyone to please be responsible this holiday season. If you are going out with friends or family and alcohol is being consumed, please drink responsibly and please designate a sober driver or call a taxi. Don't let tragedy ruin your holiday celebration. Be safe and drive sober. Thank you.
All right. That's the first hour done. First hour is done. Today's date is the 19th. Okay. On the bottom. Perfect. Okay. Let's go with whatever we got next here. Bowl game time. Put my ESPN in as well. All right, we're back here on Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk, and switching over to some sports. We're gonna get into NORAD tracks Santa during the second hour. I want to talk about that a little bit, and my experiences with it. I think it's a great thing. It's the website's amazing as well. And they do a very good job at doing what they do, tracking Santa every year. They're not the only game in town now when it comes to that tracking Santa stuff either. Google does that as well, which is interesting. They introduced that a couple of years ago. And I've looked at their website too. They do an all right job at that as well. But again, in my opinion, nothing beats NORAD when it comes to tracking Santa. They do a very, very good job at that. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up in the second hour. But the college football bowl season is continuing today, starting at 11 a.m. this morning at the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But they're doing ESPN is doing something. The majority of the games are on ESPN. The majority of the games are on ESPN. And they're doing something on ESPN called Capital One Bowl Mania. And what it is you pick all the games, pick who the winner is, and try to get the best record out of everyone who does the challenge. And to say I don't do well on these challenges is an understatement. I'm not that bad, but I seem to not do too well on these pretty much every year. But so far through the bowl games that have happened, I'm 2-3. And what I got correct was the Cricket Celebration Bowl. I was a little worried I wasn't going to get that one correct. Prairie View A&M did not want to give up in that game. It was very evident that those two teams were waiting for the other team to make a mistake first. That game went to 4 overtimes. Again, one of the most entertaining bowl games so far here. And then some other ones in there as well that were very, very entertaining. But South Carolina State versus Prairie View A&M was very, very entertaining. I got to see most of that game, and that was, again, very entertaining, very fun. South Carolina State did win. Again, they had a lot of experience when it comes to the Celebration Bowl, so that was a good win for them. I did pick them, so I got that correct. I picked Washington to beat. I picked Boise. I picked Boise State to beat Washington. Obviously, that didn't happen. Washington destroyed Boise State. I picked Jacksonville State to beat Troy. This was a toss-up for me. I was originally going to pick Troy. I did not. I ended up picking Jax State. And Troy... I ended up picking Troy. Sorry, I was going to pick Jax State. It was the other way around. I was going to pick Jax State. I ended up picking Troy. And unfortunately, that didn't end up going right for me there. Troy lost 17-13. For this one, I picked the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. I picked South Florida to beat Old Dominion. Old Dominion won 24-10. Another one I got correct, which I was a little bit surprised. I picked this one. I didn't know really anything about these two teams, so I just picked this one at random. I picked Delaware, and I got it right. Delaware won 20-13. Now, yesterday's bowl game is not on this list for some reason. It's just not on the list. And I think because it was called the Xbox Bowl. This is a new bowl game that they didn't have last year. And this was supposed to be the Bahamas Bowl. However, the Bahamas Stadium is being renovated. So the Bahamas Bowl isn't taking place this year. So they replaced it with the Xbox Bowl. And that was a fun and entertaining game, for sure. Arkansas State, who has been to bowl games before, took on Missouri State, winning 34-28. It was looking like originally that was going to be a blowout, but Arkansas State did win that one, 34-28. Very close game. So today we have a couple of bowl games, and we have a college football playoff game. We have Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan, which, again, going into this season, I didn't think Kennesaw State was going to be in a bowl game. They have turned their program around very, very quickly. Kennesaw State is now 10-3. They are a very good team. Very good team. Kennesaw State. I didn't think they were going to be in a bowl game. They're usually a team that is towards the bottom of the entire college football rankings. Usually. This year, it was different. They turned their team around. They take on Western Michigan in just about an hour from now at 11 a.m. this morning in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. So that'll be a fun matchup. That's on ESPN. I'll probably listen to that on the way home on ESPN Plus. So, again, that'll be a fun game today. Then after that will be Memphis taking on NC State. That'll be a tough one. That was a tough one to kind of pick for this challenge that ESPN has going on. I picked Memphis. I'm not too, sure about that pick. That was a pick that I picked them because I think Memphis has a team that can get it done. I think they can win a bowl game. They had a season where it was a little disappointing. They ended up unranked. It was a little bit of a disappointing season for Memphis because I think they were expected to do a little bit better than what they did. But I think they'll end the season well with a bowl victory in the Gasparilla Bowl. And then you have the college football playoff round 1 matchup. Alabama and Oklahoma. This is a pure toss-up. It's a pure toss-up. These two teams are very, very good. And I think it's a toss-up. I don't even want to pick who's going to win this game because I don't know. I'm fine with either one winning. I really am. I'm fine with either one winning because in the second round, they're kind of going to be running into a wall of a team. So they probably lose in the second round anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not saying they won't win in the second round, but it's a probability that they'll lose in the second round. If, whoever makes it out of this game tonight. 8 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Alabama and Oklahoma. A rematch from earlier on this season as well. So high-stakes game, for sure. High-stakes game. When we come back, we'll check on some other college football levels, FCS, Division II, Division III. We'll check on that, what's coming up for this weekend, and actually the other college football playoff games as well. But we need to take our break, so we'll be right back.
We are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleborough, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleborough Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
News this hour from Town Hall. Amit Thomason. Her lawyers are promising an appeal. A Wisconsin judge found guilty of felony obstruction for helping a Mexican national dodge federal immigration authorities. After deliberating 6 hours, jurors handed down the verdict in the case of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan, facing up to 5 years in prison when sentenced. He took his own life. That's what authorities are saying about the suspected Brown University gunman, his body found in a Salem, New Hampshire storage unit. Massachusetts U.S. Attorney Leah Foley says Claudio Neves Valente has also been linked to the killing of an MIT professor in Brookline, Massachusetts, a couple of days after the Brown University shooting.
Previously, he attended the same academic program as the MIT professor Nuno Loureiro in Portugal between 1995 and 2000. Although Neves Valente appeared to reside in Florida between November 26th and November 30th of this year, he rented a hotel room in Boston.
The motive behind the killings remains a mystery. President Trump has signed an executive order that could reclassify marijuana as a somewhat less dangerous drug. The president stresses the order applies strictly to medicinal applications of marijuana.
The facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered in some cases. This may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers.
Mr. Trump's executive order does not legalize marijuana under federal law, and it's not the final word. The proposed change still requires federal regulatory approval. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are down 10 points, while the NASDAQ futures 65 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This message is for anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote by calling Term Provider at 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider. 555-2085 or visit termprovider.com. Termprovider.com.
It's a tradition for Russian President Vladimir Putin, his end-of-the-year news conference, and this year, the carefully choreographed event focused on Ukraine.
Speaking at his highly orchestrated year-end news conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin says forces have fully seized the initiative. Putin declares, our troops are advancing all across the lines of contact, faster in some areas or slower in others. The enemy is retreating in all sectors. He remains confident the Kremlin's military goals will be achieved nearly 4 years after he ordered troops into the neighboring country. In the early days of the conflict, Ukraine's forces managed to thwart an attempt by Russia's larger, better equipped army to capture Kyiv. The fighting soon settled into grinding battles, and Moscow's troops have made slow but steady progress over the years. I'm Charles Fuller.
News and analysis at townhall.com. The burgeoning Medicaid fraud scam in Minnesota continues to expand.
5 new defendants have been charged in connection with the Minnesota Housing Services fraud scheme. During a news conference, First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said that federal officials suspect a significant portion of roughly $18 billion paid out by Medicaid to Minnesota programs was fraudulent.
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud. It's swamping Minnesota and calling into question everything we know about our state.
He said 2 defendants pocketed $750,000 instead of helping Medicaid recipients find stable housing. Prosecutors alleged that they used the proceeds to travel to international destinations, including London and Dubai. Audio courtesy of KSTP. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife, their 2 children among 7 people killed. Plane crash, North Carolina. Townhall.com.
Okay, 32.
It's time now for the latest news on this Friday. Headlines. Headlines presented in the 9 o'clock hour by Morton Hospital in Taunton. They're now part of Brown University Health. Due to the high community transmission rates of influenza and other respiratory viruses, Brown University Health has moved to respiratory virus status yellow across all facilities in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, including Morton Hospital, effective on Thursday. Though under status yellow, level 2 surgical masks are required for patients, visitors, and staff during direct patient care. Brown University Health also reminds the public that it's not too late to get a flu shot and encourages everyone to wash their hands frequently, cover your coughs and sneezes, and stay home when sick to help reduce the spread of respiratory viruses. There's a high wind warning in effect that's going on from now until 3 o'clock this afternoon here in northern Bristol County and western Plymouth counties in Massachusetts. Also in southeastern Providence counties in Rhode Island, south winds with gusts up to 60 miles per hour are expected. I do have a check on the very latest forecast for the weekend coming right up from the National Weather Service. In sports, last night in the NHL, Connor McDavid scored on a shorthanded breakaway. He set up a power play goal. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Boston Bruins 3-1 last night at TD Garden. The Bruins skate against the Vancouver Canucks at the Garden this Saturday night, 7 p.m. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics take on the Miami Heat. Their homestand at TD Garden continues tonight at 7 p.m. College basketball, the Providence College Friars back in action against Seton Hall at the AMP this evening, 6:30 p.m. That'll be on FS1. College football playoffs get underway with first round games. There's one tonight, number 8 Oklahoma versus number 9 Alabama. That'll be live at 8 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Now the forecast from the National Weather Service. As I said, a high wind warning in effect from now till 3 o'clock this afternoon. It includes northern Bristol and western Plymouth counties in Massachusetts and southeastern Providence counties in Rhode Island. Now today, rain, possibly a thunderstorm. Highs near 60 degrees, south winds 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Expected gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects. There could be scattered power outages. Tonight, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, then gradually clearing off and lows dropping right down into the mid-20s. So it'll get really cold real fast tonight. For Saturday, sunny, a high of just 40 degrees, much colder than today by about 20 degrees. Saturday night, cloudy, a low around 29.
Yeah, but it's not going to rain, which is good.
And seasonable temperatures with a high near 45.
No rain.
Headlines presented by Morton Hospital in Taunton. They're now part of Brown University Health.
Okay, good. All right, let's go back. All right, good. That was good. All right, now we're back. And good morning. We are back here on Hometown Talk. Today is the 19th of December, 2025. I am Joey Driscoll. It is 10:10 a.m. And we're back here for the second hour of Hometown Talk. And continuing on our sports here. As I said, this weekend is going to be a pretty big weekend for football. We talked about Friday. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday when it comes to college football, the FBS level. Number 10 Miami takes on number 7 Texas A&M in a first round college football playoff matchup. Tulane also takes on Ole Miss. That's at 3:30 p.m. The Miami Texas A&M game, that's at noon on ABC. Tulane Ole Miss is at 3:30 p.m. on TNT. That's a first round matchup as well. in the FCS, in between Tulane and Ole Miss and James Madison in Oregon. So if you want to, watch Montana and Montana State instead of Tulane and Ole Miss, you can do so because it's on ABC. Montana and Montana State in the semis of the FCS championship, 4:00 start for that one. James Madison takes on Oregon at 7:30 p.m. on TNT. And then finally on Saturday, you have Illinois State taking on Villanova. The winner of that goes on to Tennessee. That is the FCS championship semifinals. The winner of Illinois State and Villanova goes on to Tennessee. Same thing with the winner of Montana and Montana State. They'll play for the championship of FCS in Tennessee this year. I believe that'll probably be next weekend. So that is FCS and FBS this weekend. For Division number 2 and 3 this weekend. For Division 2, we have a battle of number ones in the championship. Division 2 championship is set. Both teams are undefeated, 15-0 each, 30-0 between both teams, which is crazy. It's just amazing what these two teams have been able to do this year. Ferris State, who I think has been here before in a championship setting, and then Harding University, who I haven't seen before. This must be a newer team getting into the playoff, getting this far into the playoff. This is a team I haven't seen before, Harding University, but I've seen Ferris State before. Ferris State's a really good team, and this will be a tough one for Harding University. But both teams are undefeated. That's a 4:00 start on ESPN2 on Saturday, tomorrow. Also coming up tomorrow, you have 2 Division 3 semifinal games. The winner of these 2 games goes on to the Division 3 championship. It's Johns Hopkins University taking on Wisconsin River Falls at 1:00 on ESPN+. And then immediately following that game at 4:30 p.m., John Carroll takes on North Central College. So you got those 2 teams. Again, the winner of those 2 matchups goes on to the Division 3 title game. So that is what's coming up as well. And real quick for the NFL, the Rams were defeated by the Seahawks this past Thursday, yesterday, 38-37 in overtime. A very entertaining game between those 2 teams who are bound for the playoffs. I think that's going to be a potential rematch down the road in the playoffs. I think you'll see these 2 teams again in the playoffs. Eagles and Commanders will take place on Saturday. That's a 5:00 start on Fox. And then immediately following that, you have the Packers and the Bears. So you have 2 rivalry games, division games on Saturday on Fox, 5:00 and 8:20 p.m. And then you have your normal Sunday games. The Patriots, they will take on the Ravens at 8:20 p.m. on NBC. That is Sunday Night Football. It will be in Baltimore. It's going to be an interesting matchup as well. So there you go. And then Monday Night Football is Colts and 49ers. That's going to be a big matchup on ESPN and ABC. So you have all of those going on right now. And as I mentioned with the Celtics, kind of a quiet, thing right now. They're 4th in the East right now. They're 15-11, 5.5 games back of Detroit. Yes, I said the Detroit Pistons. It's been a while since the Detroit Pistons have been on top of the East. It's been a little bit. So that is interesting. Detroit is very, very good. New York is also very, very good this year. as well, which is not surprising. Not surprising. New York has a really good team. The New York Knicks have a really, really good team. But Detroit, what they're building in Detroit is very, very impressive. But it's not as impressive as what Oklahoma City is doing this year. 25-2. They're 4.5 games ahead of Denver. It's gonna be really hard to keep pace with Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I don't know how they're doing this. they're a team that is really well built, and they've been well built for a while. And they're a team that's going to probably stick around for a while as well. Very, very good team. That's Oklahoma for you. In quick update in the AHL. It's been a while since I've talked about I think it's been a week since I talked about the AHL. Still the same two teams in the Atlantic. It's the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins tied with the Providence Bruins right now at 39 points apiece. And it's the Grand Rapids Griffins beating everybody by many points, it seems like, by about 8. By about 8 points. But they've been very, very impressive. A 23-1-1 record. Just an absolutely impressive team, the Grand Rapids Griffins are. A quick update on the G League, the NBA G League, and their standings. Currently on top of the standings, if I can get there we go, if I can get it up. Okay, well, doesn't look like anything there. So what I'll do is I'll just tell you the next main Celtics game, the NBA G League affiliate of the Boston Celtics. They will take on Salt Lake City this afternoon, 2:30 p.m. They're coming off a really bad loss a couple of days ago. They lost pretty badly. I think it was 111-77, I believe the final was. Not a good game at all for them. And finally, I want to mention the passing of Greg Biffle. It was reported that yesterday that he, along with his family, were killed in a plane crash yesterday. And also a couple other people as well. 7 people in total killed in a plane crash yesterday. And this is in North Carolina. Greg Biffle was an American NASCAR driver, stock car racing driver. He competed part-time in ARCA Series West during I think he may have did a couple of races this past year or a year or two ago. It wasn't long ago that he was racing in ARCA, but he was killed along with his family, unfortunately, in a plane crash yesterday. He was 55 years old. Some of the achievements he had in his career were Busch Series champion in 2002. He was the 2000 Craftsman Truck Series champion. Very impressive season he had, Greg Biffle, in 2000. He was a really good NASCAR truck driver. Really, really good. He had many wins in his career there in the Truck Series. He also won a couple Southern 500s. That's a really big race in NASCAR. And he won several of them. He won 2 of them in 2005 and 2006. He also was the Rookie of the Year in the Busch Series, 1998's Rookie of the Year in the Craftsman Series as well. He was a very popular driver in NASCAR. And this is a huge loss for the NASCAR community. And he also did a lot of great things outside of NASCAR as well. He owned his own plane and owned his own helicopter, and he used that helicopter after Hurricane Helene to help, rescue people who were stuck during that hurricane. So that was a really, really good thing that he did a couple of years ago during Hurricane Helene. He was part of those relief efforts. So again, Craig Biffle and his family, they'll be missed. Again, this is a heartbreaking thing to lose such a great NASCAR driver and a great person in Craig Biffle. And a couple other things I wanted to mention about Greg Biffle and his career. His Cup Series races, 515 races. He raced in a lot of races in his NASCAR career, which is really the thing that happens when you're a really good NASCAR driver. You race in NASCAR in the 3 divisions for a very, very long time, and he did so for quite a while. 515 races in the Cup Series. He had 19 wins in the Cup Series, 175 top 10s, 13 pole victories there as well, starting from the pole 13 times in the Cup Series. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, which used to be called the Xfinity, it's the second ring of NASCAR. He had 244 races there over 11 years. He won the championship, as I mentioned before. He won a championship in that series. 20 wins, 149 top 10s, 14 pole wins there, starting from the pole 14 times. Craftsman Truck Series, again, another championship as well for him in that series in 2000. He raced for quite a while, 83 races. So a little less races than in the other 2 series, but he raced quite a bit in those races. He got a lot of wins in the Truck Series. 17 wins, 55 top 10s, 12 times starting from the pole position, number 1 spot. 83 races, a championship in 2000. Just a kind of a legendary career there. ARCA, he didn't do much ARCA, but he raced 5 races over 3 years, and he had 4 top 10s. 4 top 10s in 5 races is pretty good. It was pretty good. And if he raced more in ARCA, I think he would have gotten some wins in there as well in his career. He raced his last race in ARCA was in 2025. He did race in Portland in ARCA. So again, if he's not in the Hall of Fame already, I feel like he should be. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame already. He might be. I'm not sure yet. I haven't looked at that, but if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he should be. Greg Biffle, a great driver and a great person, gone too soon after a very tragic plane crash that killed him and his family and a couple other people as well. 7 people passed away in that plane crash yesterday there in North Carolina. All right, let's take a break here. And when we come back, we have a couple of minutes. We'll talk about one transportation topic today. Sorry we didn't have a lot of time to talk about transportation today. Anyone who is looking forward to talking about transportation, in a couple of minutes. We'll do that coming up here in just a couple of minutes here after our break. We'll have like a minute or 2 to talk about something. All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Paul Lazzaro, host of Saturday morning's Cranberry Country Journal, inviting you to join me live 10 a.m. on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM via the internet or our Facebook live stream. Since 1993, Cranberry Country Journal has been providing a slice of life of the people, places, events, and activities that make the Cranberry Country area a special place to call home. Catch Cranberry Country Journal Saturday mornings 10 to 11 a.m. on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM.
Taunton Federal Credit Union's newest full-service location at 403 Winthrop Street in Taunton is now open. This is TFCU's fourth location, which includes its main office at 14 Church Green in Taunton and branches in Middleborough and New Bedford. Taunton Federal Credit Union's been serving the city of Taunton and surrounding communities since 1947 and is committed to offering an extensive range of products and services designed specifically with you in mind. Membership in the Taunton Federal Credit Union is now available to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends schools in Bristol County, Plymouth County, and Barnstable County in Massachusetts, Bristol, Kent, Newport, and Providence counties in Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island communities of Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton.
Good morning, caller.
Shoreham, Kingstown, Richmond, and
Hello, caller? You there?
to make your banking experiences
Yes. Hi, Democratic Cowboy. Okay. We're on a commercial. Just give us 1 second, and we'll be back. All right. Here we go. All right, we are back here on Hometown Talk. It is the Friday edition of Hometown Talk, and we have a phone call. Let's take that phone call right now and say good morning. How are you today, caller?
That's good for Democratic Cowboy. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great today, Democratic Cowboy. I'm doing great. Little rainy outside, but other than that,
I just listened to CNN here, right?
Yep.
And I hope we don't do it, but I think we're going to go to war with Venezuela.
So my feeling on that is, I don't know. I don't know until it happens. I don't know what will happen in Venezuela until it happens. It seems like there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen there. Again, we don't know until it something happens there. I think if there is any kind of war or anything like that, or any kind of ground, it wouldn't be ground invasion, anything from the air or anything like that. It might be a quick thing, but let's hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about Mr. Russo. You don't know whether Mr. Vince Russo on the YouTube with his friend Coachman, the Coach and Bro show. I'm more concerned. You don't know whether this guy, just like I'm on the radio. I'm on the communist rule here. You know, in Broctonia, up on Mondulo. I'm more concerned about Mr. Russo. You don't know whether he dislikes Triple H, Father Deck, or loves Triple H, Father Deck.
So that's the problem with a lot of these wrestling commentators. That's why I really don't listen to many wrestling commentators at all. I just watch the product, and I make my own opinion on the product. You know, just from watching it myself. I don't try to follow anyone's other opinions on the product, because it's a lot of divisive stuff. They're trying to, say things that, may not even be true. Number one, may not even be true, just to make some money. And I don't like that.
And he likes to knock it all the time. He calls us a bunch of marks. We're a bunch of marks.
Exactly.
I started following wrestling in '68, and I was way back in the 12 rows back at the Boston Garden. Now I'm in my bedroom in my house here watching it. And it's better to see it right, on the screen than go anywhere. I'm too old to go anywhere. I dream of the day to go back to Causeway Street. I dream of that day. I need to get my back fixed. You know what I mean? I got to be able to walk right. And the thing is, right now I'm not doing too good. But the thing is that these two guys, Coachman, I've known him since the Sunny Days and the Attitude Era and everything. He's cool. And Russo, I don't know much about him. I never met him down in the office. I was down in the office once to settle up with the pay stuff with Mark Yates and Mr. Mike Toomey. But it's a very nice office, a very good place, and I like Paul Levesque. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
I think so too.
He's got a hot situation. You know what I mean? I'm an A-kid, but I think he's doing a real good job. He was trained by Walter Kowalski, and he's a good guy. And to have Vince Russo come on And I don't know if this is paid by the Red Sox to knock wrestling or what, but
I don't
you
know.
know,
I don't know.
these guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well,
You know something,
it's interesting.
Joey? He
Yeah.
has his ring announcer, right? He has his different ring announcer. Comes out there in a foul mouth. He uses the mother word, you know, and the F word. He got a new wrestling federation he's promoting. He's trying to pump that.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, it is 10:30. We gotta go to our news break. But thank you, Democratic Cowboy, for calling in for a couple
Oh, you're
minutes.
entirely welcome, Joe. I like talking like this, really.
Yes.
It makes me feel better every day.
Thank you so much, Democratic Cowboy.
You
Call
are
again.
asking.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
And that was Democratic Cowboy giving us a couple of minutes here. Talk a little bit about wrestling. And yeah, I agree with him when it comes to some of these wrestling commentators, who have podcasts and things like that. I tend to not listen to it. To not listen to it. They stoke up a lot of false information sometimes, and I just don't listen to it. I watch the product and make my own opinions and about the product from just watching the product directly, not listening to any other people about the product. It's important to just watch the product yourself and make your own decision on what you like and what you don't like in wrestling. Anyway, 10:33. Let's take our news break. We'll be right back.
Taunton Federal Credit Union, its full-service location at 403 Winthrop Street in Taunton, is now open. This is TFCU's fourth location, which includes its main office at 14 Church Green in Taunton and branches in Middleborough and New Bedford. Taunton Federal Credit Union has been serving the city of Taunton and surrounding communities since 1947 and is committed to offering an extensive range of products and services designed specifically with you in mind. Membership in the Taunton Federal Credit Union is now available to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Bristol County, Plymouth County, and Barnstable County in Massachusetts, Bristol, Kent, Newport, and Providence counties in Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island communities of Charlestown, Exeter, Hopkinton, Narragansett, New Shoreham, North Kingstown, Richmond, and South Kingstown. They want to make your banking experience as easy as possible by giving you convenient access to manage your accounts on the go, all the while providing you with the latest and greatest in banking technology. Stop in today and see what the Taunton Federal Credit Union can offer you.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. Amit Thomason. The Brown University shooting suspect has been found dead. The body of former Brown student Claudio Neves Valente was found in a store.
Good morning, caller. You're on Hometown Talk Friday edition. Hi, Danny. How are you? This is Joey. Yeah, we're on a commercial break, and we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. It might be our end. We're having a little issues with our phone lines when it comes to the static. So it might be on our end. Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Correspondent Ken Lorman says the Cessna business jet crashed at Statesville Regional Airport north of Charlotte. The Department of Health and Human Services has unveiled a series of proposed regulatory actions that effectively ban so-called gender-affirming care for minors. The Kennedy Center Board has voted to rename America's Cultural Center the Trump Kennedy Center. Yes, Democrats are outraged. Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan has been convicted of felony obstruction for helping a Mexican national evade ICE agents who get 5 years in prison. Her lawyers vow an appeal. Wall Street stocks are higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are. Call now, 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. The TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All right, we're coming back in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right, we are back as I turn down the bumper music. There we go. It is 10:37 a.m. this morning. Joining me via the phone lines is Danny Taylor of Middleborough Gas and Electric. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning. And also joining us is Ken Stone, our general manager.
Thank you for joining us as well. So the first question I want to ask you real quick, I know WVBF, I mentioned this when it happened in June, but the administration building, I believe, has been closed since then for renovations. How is that going? Is it reopened, or do you have a date when it will reopen? I think it mentioned in the email in the post back in June that it was going to be, I believe, in 2026. But do you have an update on that?
Sure. We've been doing renovations to our administrative office building, lobby renovations to customer service since June, and those are nearly complete. All the construction is complete as of now. We are just testing all of the IT systems, all of the monitors, internet, check machines, all of that. So we've actually started to move people back into the building this week. We hope to move everyone else in by the end of next week, and we should be reopened to the public before year end.
Well, that's great news. So this weekend marks the beginning of winter, and Middleborough Gas and Electric does a ton of great things for the community of Middleborough during the winter. What are some of those things, and how does Middleborough Gas and Electric help the community of Middleborough stay warm in the winter?
So some of the programs, we work with our local staff agencies, so South Shore Action Council, which is with Middleborough, and Citizens for Citizens, which is Lakeville. They offer some low-income home energy assistance programs, LIHEAP, heating system repair and replacement programs, and weather addiction assistance programs. So customers can apply for this directly through South Shore Community Action Council or Citizens for Citizens, depending on which town they're in.
So about the heating side of things, how does Middleborough Gas and Electric help with the heating and programs like that? You there? No.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So we, for South Shore Action, so SSAC and Citizens for Citizens, we do distribute some money for Middleborough and Lakeville residents to help them, those low-income homeowners, renters, and that can help to reduce the cost associated with their home energy bills.
And during the winter, when something big comes up like winter storms, like how does Middleborough Gas and Electric prepare for things like that, like extreme cold or winter storms, like with a lot of snow? Because New England, it gets at least one winter storm a year. Sometimes we get lucky and we don't get anything when it comes to winter storms, but with New England, we tend to get winter storms at least once a year.
So so obviously we are faced with one or two winter storms a year, whether it be rain and wind or ice and snow. All of our line crews and all of our gas crews live within 20, 25 minutes of the building here, so we try to respond as quickly as possible. Our crews, we always have standby crews waiting to be called if needed. So it's a response time is excellent, and our crews are always ready to respond when called.
And I've seen in the past as well, when you have winter storms like that, other communities come out and help as well. What are some of the things? How does that help Middleborough Gas and Electric as well when other communities come out and help when it comes to major storms?
That's a great question. We are actually part of the Northeast Public Power Association, their mutual aid program. So if a storm is bad enough and we need to bring in more crews from other utilities, we can reach out to them immediately, and they will send crews to us from all over the region, all over New England, really. We have a New England network of mutual aid. We also have a national network of mutual aid through American Public Power Association. So we have many, many resources that we can rely upon if needed in an emergency.
Going back here, looking back a little bit here, I'm a couple of weeks away from 2026. 2025 seems like it's gone very, very fast. What are a couple let's say three big things that Middleborough Gas Electric has done in 2025 that you want to mention?
Admin renovation, first and foremost. So three things. So the administrative building renovations that we talked about earlier is big for us. That'll help with the safety and security of the building, safety and security for our employees. The other major project that we are working on is the renovation of our electric division building down on Wareham Street. We kept the three walls for historical preservation, and right now the building has transitioned from the demolition phase to the construction phase just in the last couple of weeks. So we're starting to backfill, and we'll be starting to put in the floor beams pretty soon. So the electric division building was a major project. The admin building was a major project. On the gas side, natural gas side of things, we started a major project. It's called a third layer of overpressure protection, which is we need to have a third layer of, in case there's increased pressure on the gas system, we have the three layers of protection to protect explosions, really. So we're renovating all of our regulated stations to add a third layer of overpressure protection. We started in 2025, and we'll complete it in 2026.
Speaking of 2026, what are some things that you're looking to do with Middleborough Gas and Electric in 2026?
We do have some new rebate programs being offered. So we do have Energy Star appliance rebates right now, weatherization heat pumps. But starting on January 1st, we'll be offering rebates for weather stripping for doors and the window film treatment. For the windows, it'd be $75, up to $75 per year. And for the weather stripping, up to $25 per year.
Both those two things. Tell everyone how that works. Like the those two things that you just mentioned. What those are.
This will help. So in Middleborough, we do have some historic homes. So those older homes sometimes may not have the most up-to-date windows or door. So the film that goes over the windows helps with the draft, and the same with the weather stripping for the doors. It helps keep that cold draft out and helps keep the heat in.
Okay, it's 10:46 a.m. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have a couple of more minutes to talk with Danny Taylor. as well as the general manager of Middleborough Gas and Electric as well. So we'll have a couple more minutes to talk with them, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk. I'm Joey Driscoll, and we will be right back. Okay, we're just going to take a quick commercial break because I have one or two commercials I gotta make sure I do. Is there a couple of other items that I may have missed that you guys want to make sure to talk about? Because do that, and I want to make sure I get information out on how people can contact Middleborough Gas and Electric as well. So we'll do that coming out of the next.
We're planning the planning stages, planning design stages of adding a second substation down in South Middleborough.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that coming out of the break. That's good. We'll talk about that.
We can just throw in there, we do gift certificates for people, and we do have a senior and low income rate. But we said.
Okay. Coming back in 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right, we're back from that very quick commercial break, but there was one commercial I had to make sure I get done, and it's done. So 10:48 a.m. We have a couple more minutes here. I'm gonna move over to talking about a new pump station that is being planned for Middleborough Gas and Electric. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's actually a substation, SUB.
Oh, substation. I'm sorry.
Currently, we only have one substation in the town in Middleborough that serves both Lakeville and Middleborough. So we're in the planning and design phase now. We actually just ordered our first set of equipment for the new station, which will be located down in South Middleborough, near the Rochester line. We expect that substation to be online at the end of 2027, so about 2 years from now.
Okay, and Danny, you were saying something about another program as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do offer gift certificates. So anyone can call in. They're available in any amount. Gift certificates can be used to credit any SB account for any user service. So if someone wanted to give a family member some money towards their bill, they can do so. And if anyone ever wanted to just give an anonymous gift certificate, they can do that as well. And then we give that to St. Vincent, and they're the ones who decide which bill it goes on.
St. Vincent de Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Couple of other things. So is there any other big items that you want to talk about here before we switch over to how people can get in contact with the Middleborough Gas and Electric, or you, or the general manager specifically?
I think one other thing we can mention is for seniors and anyone who is qualified or eligible for fuel assistance, they could potentially qualify for the low income rate or the senior discounted rate. So we do have that information on our website, ndc.com, and they can fill out the application there.
All right. How can people get in contact with Middleborough Gas and Electric, or the general manager, or you, Danny, specifically?
The best is to give us a call, 508-947-1371. Our customer service rep will be able to handle most of the calls. If not, they can just direct it in the right direction. And then for outages, we do on our website have an outage map system, so customers can go in there and log their address for any outage that may happen.
And how about getting in contact with the general manager if anyone has any questions about something that the general manager would be able to ask? That would be able to answer.
I think, the best message to go on the website there. We do have a contact us form, and customers can fill out that form with questions, and then we're able to give it to the appropriate person, and we'll get back in touch with them.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I hope that this winter isn't that crazy. As an indication with fall, we didn't have a warm fall, so I hope that doesn't mean we're going to have a very cold winter. But it's not doesn't hurt to be prepared for winter. And Middleborough Gas and Electric does a great job helping people prepare for the winter.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, both of you, for calling in today. Hopefully, we'll have you back on sometime in March to talk about some of the big things that happened during the winter months at Middleborough Gas and Electric.
Good. Hopefully it's quiet.
Hopefully it is quiet. Yes, hopefully it is quiet. So thank you so much for calling in today.
Thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
And that is Middleborough Gas and Electric giving us a call, the general manager, and also Danny Taylor as well from Middleborough Gas and Electric. All right, we have a couple of minutes here. Let's take one commercial break just to kind of reset. And we have a couple minutes, so we'll probably circle back to some transportation. Here, we'll do maybe one or two more stories of transportation. Probably have time, maybe one more. And we'll do that coming out of the break. We'll do one commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is District Attorney Torben Quinn. My family and I would like to wish you a happy and healthy holiday season. Unfortunately, the holiday season also comes with some potential danger. That danger comes from drinking and driving. I urge everyone to please be responsible this holiday season. If you are going out with friends or family and alcohol is being consumed, please drink responsibly and please designate a sober driver or call a taxi. Don't let tragedy ruin your holiday celebrations. Drive safe and drive sober. Thank you.
During the holidays, drunk driving accidents kill more people than any other time of year. Alcohol acts quickly, so even though your cousin Carl might not seem drunk, he could be, or Aunt Annie may seem like she's having a great time, but she shouldn't be driving home. And alcohol doesn't wear off fast. It stays in the body for a long time, even after the party. Forget about Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee doesn't help a drunk person get sober. The only thing that helps is time. So if you really care about your friends and family as much as I care about mine, make sure they have a designated driver or call a taxi. 'Tis the season to feel alive. So please be safe and don't drink and drive. A message from me and all the little elves around the world.
All right, we're back. So I turned down the bumper music. There we go. 10:55 a.m. About 5 more minutes left in the program today. I want to thank Danny Taylor for calling in today and talking all things Middleborough Gas and Electric, especially for the winter as well, and all the things that Middleborough Gas and Electric does to help people in Middleborough stay warm in the winter. So they do a great job with that every year. So we have that going on as well. Talked with Danny Taylor. Again, I want to thank her for calling in this morning. Next week, we have a great guest next week. It is Paul Lazarovich from Cranberry Country Journal. We'll be talking with him about Christmas, his show as well, probably some other stuff as well. That'll be 10:35 a.m. next Friday. The following Friday, we don't have a guest planned right now. So we don't have anything planned right now. We have, for the Friday shows, in the month of January, we have Barry Sanders coming on. I believe Chachi LaPrette will be coming on in January as well. That's not, I don't think, confirmed yet. Last time I checked, it's not confirmed. But it's a possibility that he'll be coming on in January as well. Alan Frawley will be coming on in January as well. We have a great guest as well. Several other great guests, I'm sure, that we have planned coming up for January. So stay tuned for that. A lot of the Friday shows are now have guests on them for January. Eric will be on January the 9th on the second hour of the January 9th program. We're talking about all things sports. We'll probably get into some Royal Rumble because Royal Rumble will be at the end of January. So we'll probably get into that a little bit. We'll probably get into some Red Sox potentially. Probably won't be a pleasant discussion because it seems like the Red Sox are sitting there doing nothing at this point. And there's a huge possibility now, a growing possibility, that Alex Bregman could be out the door as well, according to growing rumors out there. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it seems like it's a possibility. But that's what's coming up over the next couple of weeks. Some great guests on Hometown Talk, the Friday edition of Hometown Talk, coming up in just a couple of weeks here for the month of January coming up. All right. In Boston, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, the MBTA, will spend about $253 million to overhaul 40 commuter rail diesel locomotives following approval of the expense yesterday by the agency's board. The overhaul will cover HSB 46 locomotives built by Motive Power Inc. of Boise, Idaho, in 3 orders placed between 2010 and 2013. The first of those locomotives entered service in 2014. MPI subsequently was purchased by Wabtec, which will receive $222.7 million to perform the overhauls. Wabtec was selected through a competitive request for a proposal process. The remainder of the overhaul figure will cover in-house work and other expense. The MBTA Chief Operating Officer Ryan Callahan told the Boston Globe the midlife overhaul is 100% expected. The project timeline calls for a pilot locomotive to be delivered in December of 2028, the first production unit process due by 2029, February, and completion of the project by March of 2032. A presentation of the board says the work will include modifications to address identified deficiencies with the units, replace obsolete components, and integrate modernized technologies, ensuring parts and technology availability to support at least 15 years of service life. The MBTA is the only operator of the HSB 46, which is a 4,600 horsepower B&B AC locomotive powered by GE VO 12-cylinder prime movers. So there you go. Pretty interesting stuff there from the MBTA. The MBTA is doing a lot of great things when it comes to trying to improve the service. General Manager Philip Ang is doing a very, very good job as well when it comes to improving the service. Signal upgrades are going well. The slow zone reductions went well as well. So a lot of great things happening at the MBTA. And 2026 is going to be an interesting year for the MBTA. All right, 11:01 a.m. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's program. I'll be back next Friday for another edition of for Hometown Talk. There we go. Middleborough Review will be this Sunday. Tune into as well. Middleborough Matters will be this Monday. Also tune in to that as well. Again, I'll be back for another edition of Hometown Talk on Friday, December 26th. Bye, everybody. All right. Good.
WVBF, Middleborough, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleborough Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Shot at his home in Brookline, Massachusetts, about 45 miles north of Brown. Valente and Loureiro are believed to have known each other and attended the same academic program between 1995 and 2000 at a university in Portugal, said Leah Foley, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, at a news conference late Thursday evening. She declined to elaborate on the nature of their connection or say whether the two men had communicated recently, except to say that investigators believe Valente specifically targeted Loureiro and had no known ties to any of the victims at Brown. The Instituto Superior Técnico, the university in Portugal, confirmed Friday that Valente and Loureiro both enrolled in its physical and technological engineering program in 1995, graduating in
My hair's all messy.
Thursday's discovery
All right.
led a 5-day search that early on appeared to stump investigators and rattled communities from Providence, Rhode Island
Okay,
to Boston.
good.
Federal, state, and local law enforcement spent almost
Okay,
2 weeks
here we
scouring
go.
the region for the gunman.
I need to end the stream here. So we're gonna hit this.
They cast a pall over Providence, a tight city where gun violence